So that film is quite a hard-hitting relationship between father, son and wife. What was the inspiration and the reasoning behind the editing and the tone?
There's a woman right there and it's all based on her life. No. I'm originally from the northwest and my mum and my auntie are from Manchester and I was born in Bury and Rochdale. And I've been working in the Midlands for the past 3 years, and while I was living there, actually there's a few people from the Midlands just there. And I was walking past Asda one night in the Midlands, just generic Midlands Asda, and I was just thinking about my life and times up here, and I started thinking about my mum, my dad and my brother and everything, and I just thought I've got to put some of these memories down on film, and I had no money. Actually, 1 minute, ask me how much budget I had. 120,000 now. It's clear I had absolutely no money at all. But I drafted in friends, family, and it was more just a case of putting down some of my feelings and thoughts with a camera on, and just to savour how I felt at a certain time. So,
well, was it a labour of love then, or was
absolutely, yeah, it was absolutely a labour of love. It was just, I mean, it was one of the things when as I was walking past the Asda, I had my iPod in, and I've been working with the band whose song appears throughout, and that lyric, "You left your heart in the city," was playing, and that's what sort of spawned these memories of like being from up here and what the city represents and my family and everything. And I just thought, well, we've all seen a father-son story, and we've all seen a guy who beats on his wife, why not do it a bit different? So I said to the band, "Can I steal your song?" And they said, "Yeah."
So with the structure of the film itself, it's very, I'd say, against the normal structure of story. It's very cut-paced, very beat-edited. What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah. Again, there was a reasoning behind that. I know it seems like I just cut a fancy music video together. It wasn't like that. When I was walking home again past Asda with my iPod on, I love that Asda. No, when you have memories, I don't know if anyone else has this. You don't tend to remember the full day or the full month. It was just like little snippets of what happened and people that I remember, and my mum, my dad, my brother. And I thought, well, why try and invent a little story around that? Why not just show them as memories in like snapshots?
Yeah, it's good. It's it really is that. So because it's such quick edited, there was a lot of footage there. How long did it take you to actually film? Was it over a few weekends?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, over a few weekends. I'd have loved to have finished it quicker, but we just had. Well, I work full time, obviously, so I had to do it on weekends. And obviously, coming back from the Midlands, I had to drive back up to Manchester to shoot it, and then my actor disappeared, and then my mum won't let anyone in the house, and then take your shoes off and all that crap. So it took maybe 6 or 7 weeks, but it was worth it because I feel like it's a document of my memory at that time in my life.
That's great. Okay, so on that note, then, you're from the northwest. Did you train as a filmmaker, or did you go to university, or what did you go for that?
I went to MMU, which these two are at now, and then I did my MA at Salford. Yeah. Hey, we got some Salford people.
Yeah! Salford!
Well, yeah, I know, but I meant who went to study, not just dossing.
Go back to Westmore if you want.
So, did you have a team behind you, or was this kind of like a solo project?
Yes, that 100,000. We had a cinematographer, an editor. We had some post-prod. No, it was me and friends and family. And there's my brother. He was in it.
And
What did he shoot it on?
yeah, what did you shoot at?
Camera.
Oh yeah, I used a 5D, and it probably don't look like it because I borrowed it off a mate, and it was the first time I'd ever done it. So I was like discovering the cameras. I was like as I was shooting, so I'd love to say it looked like one of them slick Vimeo projects, but unfortunately it doesn't. But yeah, it was used on 5D with one lens, Paul.
So, was that your latest project, and do you have any more projects in the pipeline? What's your next thing that you're doing?
Yeah. I've done a couple more music videos, and I've got a few short films that I want to make. The thing with this one is I wasn't really bothered how it looked. I know that sounds really like cocky and stuff, but it was more important for me to just make it and get it done, because obviously you can make the next one look slick as hell. And I think with the DSLR stuff, everyone's making slick looking films, but are people really putting stuff from the heart? And that's what I tried to do with this. At least put a story that came from the heart, regardless of what it looked like.
So because it's more of a personal thing, after finishing it and putting it up there, is there anything you'd want to change story-wise, or have something you didn't want to put it in there, or change it slightly?
I think every time you do a film you think, oh fuck, I should have done that better, or shit, that was a bit dodgy, but you live and learn, don't you, and move on. It would be, wouldn't it?
How do you spend editing it?
Quite a while actually. It was pretty. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it was quite like I was being quite definite with the actual cutting, and depending on some of the way you place scenes. I know they're quite snapshots, but you could either make the wife look like a bitch or the dad look like a bastard, and I was very much that the dad was a bastard. So he always had to like do the nasty thing before she did, so I was always like playing around with them ideas of who does what first, and depending on where you put her throwing a jar of Vaseline or him smacking her on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I spent a long time with that.
Approximately how many hours?
Hours?
Yeah.
Hours footage.
That shot? That I edited?
It takes to edit.
I honestly couldn't tell you. Weeks.
Days.
Weeks.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist with stuff like that, so even though like the footage isn't perfect, in terms of the editing I was quite precise in how it plays out, so it did take quite a while.
How come you didn't have any, or very much dialogue until like the last maybe third of the film?
I don't know, again it goes with like the fact that the song kind of tells it, like what's happening, like there's a lyric, I'll pretend to start again, and that's like one of the ideas that you can like pretend to start things over, but it never really starts over, does it? Like you've always tainted it somewhat, so I don't think like dialogue's that important, except there's the big sort of showdown between the father and son, where it's like kind of a pivotal moment where the son's experienced all these things, but it's this one last thing that pushes him over the edge, and now like there's no going back for the father and son. So yeah, I try to avoid dialogue.
The little boy in the film looks genuinely distressed. I'd be interested to know how you managed that. That is my
It's her grandson actually. Do you know the bit where he's crying? He fell down the stairs, and I said, quick, where's the camera? Grab the kid and grab the camera, and he was really crying because he fell down the stairs. No, I think like it was the first time he'd been away from his mum, so he was like just genuinely shocked that like four random people had him in this house, and just like, right, and there's a man strangling a woman, and the kid's like. So yeah, he was just generally upset. He was just do it for real, that's what I say. If you want fear, create the fear. Kidnap a baby.
No more questions?
Just to let you know, Mark, it's not a question. I'm the landlord of this pub, and you've got enough before.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm ex-military, and I've gone through problems with my ex-missing and stuff like that about my kids. Do you know what? You made me cry.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I really appreciate that.
It
There's a
touched a fucking lot of raw nerves with me. and it worked.
Thank you. I mean, I always think if you make something that should be universal, there's a quote from a filmmaker, he says that the film of tomorrow will be more personal than a diary, and the audience will be the number of friends and family you have, and I think that shows tonight. The audience for this film will just be my friends and family, but the biggest compliment I had is something like that, and when my mum first watched it, she cried her eyes out, so I thought like I did what I set out to do, and at least... Thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
Have you got any more projects in the pipeline?
Yeah. I do have some short films that I'm actively trying to make, but getting actors for free when you've already thrown your nephew down the stairs.
He's not starring in your next.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to... It's hard when you've got, like, basically no money to make films. Like, I'd love to say I had 100 grand. I was thinking, like, bloody hell, what could I do with that money? But, yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing on. But I do have, like, films that I want to make, yeah.
That's good. Anything else?
No, I think you proved that you really don't need money to make really good film.
Well, I think if you come from the heart, like, regardless of what you shot on or what you did, it'll shine through and someone hopefully will relate to it. Obviously that, there's people who did, so thank you.
Right, I think that's everything.